Hey, what's up? This is Andrew Grants with Greater Goal Athletics, mental performance coach, and we are here today with Silver Creek boys golf coach Matt Graston. Coach Graston, we appreciate you coming on with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this past year, so you've been coaching now for 18 years. You were my high school golf coach.
Yep.
And so don't share too many stories. But you've been doing it for 18 years. But this past year, you had your most successful year, and taking your team to the state finals. You guys were ranked as high as number 4 in the state. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, awesome, and just a lot of success that we'll touch on. But we worked together this past year, and I was able to come and do some mental performance training with your athletes just before the postseason arrived. And but first, let's go back a little bit and talk. Both of us coming from a golf background, we understand how much mental preparation goes into the game of golf. But just talk a little bit about that, just with your experiences previously with mental performance, and just kind of your thoughts on it, throughout your career prior to me working with the team.
Like you say, so much of golf is mental. It's easy to have such an up and a down for golf. You can go along and think you're mentally prepared, and then a bad shot happens, then it knocks you down, and it's just so hard to come back up. So there's just a lot of swings in golf. It's really mental. You're on your own basically out there. A lot of times as a coach, I may be able to get around here or there. Say we're playing 18-hole invitational, I may only see the guys for 3 or 4 holes each, something like that. So a lot of times you're on your own as a player, and it's your responsibility to stay mentally strong, mentally stable.
Yeah,
which is tough to do.
For sure. So you asked me to come in and speak with the team, and we talked about specific, strategies and different things that we could use. Just talk a little bit about the difference maybe that you saw just with what we talked about whenever I was there with the team, and those kind of strategies compared to maybe some things that you used before, or just just any kind of difference that you saw, good, bad, ugly, whatever it might be, just your takeaways from it.
Well, whenever I reached out to you, we were kind of in we were playing decent, kind of hit a little bit of a flat line on our scores, and had some players that just weren't getting over the hump. And then you coming out and taking the time to talk about different strategies, controllable, uncontrollables, trust it, train it, different ways was very good for us, because in golf, we have 5 players that play for each invitational. So you have 5 different personalities. So you can't say, okay, well, this is going to be what you need to go by as far as staying mentally stable or mentally strong. You have 5 different personalities, so you have to kind of throw everything out there. And you covered a lot of ground, a lot of areas, and it stuck with a lot of them. Some went with the, just having a positive thought. Some went with concentrating on the controllable and uncontrollable. So it hit everybody, but just in a different way, which is good.
What after that and leading up to the postseason run that you guys went on, what were the biggest differences that you saw with your team? And talk about a little bit just about the results that you guys had this year.
It was great results as far as having you come out there, and the season too. But as far as whenever you came out, I had several of the guys that it really clicked right away. A couple others, it took a little bit to kind of get used to some things, but once it hit, it was set in stone basically. But they all have their different ways to approach it. Some guys get on the first tee box, close their eyes, get in their own zone. However each player wants to get in their zone, I allow them that time to take what you covered with them to get there. And I really think the mental part of it put us over the hump. We had a load of talent in the top 5 throughout the team, actually. But to get over that mental, obstacle or mental challenge that we had, for the guys to trust their game and to trust that, we were the number 4 team in the state, or whatever we were ranked at the time. Because we went from last year to this year. Last year we were kind of the hunter, and this year we're the hunted. So the guys had a different situation. It was tougher there were more challenges mentally to take on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. If you don't mind, tell the story. You had one of your players that you texted me recently, or just right after I talked, and he was talking about how he said, "I'm going to try to hit this shot," and he caught himself and reframed his
Yes.
wording. Tell that story if you don't mind.
Yes, it was actually my son Luke, and I believe it was just after we went out there, or maybe the next day. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we're riding along. It's just he and I, and he's standing over the ball, and I'm asking him, "Okay, what are you doing here? Where's your miss?" Just talking out the shot, and he goes, "Well, I'm going to try to hit a cut. I'm going to try to cut it off the bunker, to the back pin." And I just kind of looked at him, and he goes, I will. So, right away that was kicking in as far as just taking a different approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that simple change in vocabulary that tricks your mind into believing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes a big difference. So, one thing that I'm really trying to do with Greater Goal Athletics is I want to impact as many athletes as I possibly can, as many people as I can, and try to teach them these strategies and skills. Is this something as a coach that you would recommend to other golf teams, and not even golf teams, but just other sports in general or athletes in general? Is Greater Goal Athletics and the strategies that I brought to you guys, is this something that you would recommend?
Absolutely, 100%. This, like I said, I think this really brought us over the edge, got us through that little flat line that we were in there for a while towards the end of the season, which was right before postseason, so it got us a good kickstart. But I would 100% recommend it. I've actually reached out to a couple other coaches and just kind of spreading the word already a little bit. But I think if anybody's looking for an edge to get there mentally, as far as talent-wise too, to cover the talent too, I think this is an awesome program to get involved with.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I've told you 1,000 times, but I appreciate you. You've been my coach for over 20 years now, coach for life. So I thank you so much.
I love it. Love coaching you. And I love seeing this because you're taking something that, I didn't go to quite this extent, but you always look as a coach to help your players in life as well as coaching. And I see you doing that. And, this program will help players just in everyday life as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the number one goal with it. So I appreciate it and appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Anytime.